Welcome, my dear viewers, to next chapter of our excursions. Those that know me will be aware that I normally do my excursions in Turkish language. But I really wanted to share my discoveries with you in English. I do like to make you aware that English is not my first language, and therefore, if I happen to miss out some grammar, please forgive me. But I will do my very best today, and I will give you the brilliant experience today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are beginning our journey. Welcome to Colchester. Colchester is the Britannia's oldest recorded town with a long and colorful history. One of the most fascinating historic towns in England, Colchester has a mix of historic attractions from every era, from pre-Roman to Roman, medieval, Georgian, and Victorian. The Romans recognized the Commodore's strategic importance as a major British triple power base and immediately built a legendary fortress on a spur of land near of the old triple center. Not contented with a military stronghold, the Romans established a colonial or planned settlement populated by retired soldiers within the walls of the fort. This was quite literally British first city, and it was called Colonia Victoricensis. It means the city of victory. So we are right now Jumbo Water Tower place. So this tower is 40.1 tall over wall. So construction is around 20 months and was completed in 1883. So 1,200,000 bricks, 810 tons of stone, and the cement were used in the construction of this tower. So let's go. We're gonna discover now Jumbo Water Tower. Jumbo Water Tower, the biggest surviving Victorian water tower in the country, built in 1882 to replace an inadequate system of stands and reservoirs. It gained the name when an outgoing director named John Arrivan completed at the top of the tower holding 220,000 gallons standing at the foot of his rector garden. He wrote a letter to Essex Standard calling the project a jumbo after a popular elephant at the London Zoo, which had been recently sold over the great public outcry to American showman P.T. Barnum. The tower is an iconic site in central Colchester and now being preserved a historic moment. Firstsite is a visual arts organization based in Colchester, Essex, which opened in 2011. It was the National Arts Fund's Museum of the Year in 2021. Firstsite is Colchester and the East of England's contemporary visual arts gallery, housed in a spectacular golden building designed by Raphael Vignoli Architects. Firstsite is both a gallery and a community hub, showcasing a wide variety of impressive artworks from internationally recognized artists to more locally relevant exhibitions. Cited as representing the artist's face of Britannia, the Sings twins are international renowned contemporary British artists whose award-winning work explores important issues of social, political, and cultural debate and redefines narrow Eurocentric perceptions of art, heritage, and identity. The Twins collaborate on their art, describing their creative practice as postmodern as opposite to postmodern. Their highly decorative, narrative, and symbolic work has been recognized as pioneering a modern revival of Indian miniature painting within contemporary art practice. But their distinctive style is much more eclectic. In addition to the Indian miniature tradition of painting, they also draw on the artistic language and conversations of the other traditions, East and West, Old and New, including ancient Greek and Roman, Persian, and medieval European manuscripts, European Renaissance art, 18th century British satirists, the Victorian illustrators, pre-Raphaelists, art nouveau, and photography. So, dear my viewers, now I'm at the St. Botolph's Priory. So, St. Botolph was the first Augustinian monastery in Britannia and stands in the heart of modern Colchester city. The priory was founded around the year 11,000 and represents an excellent example of early Norman architecture. So let's go. Now we're gonna discover two Botolph's Priory. Let's go. St. Botolph's Priory may just be a ruin, but it is nothing less impressive. Thought badly run it during the siege of Colchester in 1648. It retains much of its Norman architecture, including the spectacular west front with its doorways, wall arcade, and the remains of what is believed to be an earliest circular window in England. Most of the abbey remains are constructed of flint and incorporate reused Roman bricks. The ruins of the Priory church are most impressive with the large round columns and the rounded arches so characteristic of the Norman Roman square period. The west front of the church is especially notable for its ornamentation. The priory was founded beside the southern gateway through Colchester Old Town walls. The original dedication was to St. Julian and St. Botolph. The priory was dissolved by Henry VIII in 1536, but further destruction was inflicted during the 1648 siege of Colchester during the Civil War. You can still see the damage caused by cannon fire during the siege. So, dear my viewers, we are right now Colchester Castle. So, Colchester Castle is a beautifully preserved Norman stronghold with a rich history dating back to Roman times. Construction of the Colchester Castle began in around 1076 and was completed by around 11,000 for use for the royal fortress by William I, son of the William the Conqueror. One of the most striking aspects of the castle is its imposing keep, said to be the largest example of a Norman keep Britannian. So let's go. Now we're gonna discover the castle of Colchester. Let's go. William the Conqueror chose Colchester to building the first and the largest royal castle in the stone. Construction began in the 1076 on the ruins of the Roman temple to the Emperor Claudius, and remains of the temple can be seen today. The castle fell into disuse in the later medieval period, but was eventually restored and converted into a fine museum. Sometime around 54 AD, a temple to the Emperor Claudius was built within the Roman town of Colchester. The temple must have remained relatively intact after the departure of the Romans, for when William the Conqueror began work on his stone keep, his masons used bricks from the temple to augment local stone. The temple foundations with impressive walls can be seen below the current castle. The Norman castle was designed by Botolph, Bishop of Rochester, and the man responsible for the White Tower at the Tower of London. Botolph's design included a split plinth at the base like a skirt with two floors above. Interior space was divided in three by a pair of north-south walls. The design included four large fireplaces, two in the east wall and two in the west. They are among the earliest stone fireplaces in England. At that time and for several centuries after, it was more common to have a central fire in a hearth rather than a fireplace and chimney in the wall. Gundol's designing was executed by Eudo Le Daffier, who became the first castle steward when work was halted in 1080. We don't know why work stopped, for the castle was unfinished. It may have been the threat of the Danish invasions. In any event, the castle was not actually completed until the early 12th century. It seems that the Normans planted three stories, but in the end only two were built. The castle's first mayor, even on the stage of history occurred in 1199 when King John's powerful barons rebelled against the crown and took the castle. John recaptured the castle in 1215, shortly before his death, and it remained the crown hands for the next 4 centuries. During the 17th century, the castle was at the center of important historical events. In 1645, it was a location for investigations into suspected witches instigated by the self-styled witchfinder General Matthew Hopkins. Hopkins was a local man, a resident of nearby Manning Tree, and he used the castle for his rather unpleasant witch interrogations. I hope I have been able to show you some key highlights and introduce you to this beautiful city of Colchester. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and share with your other friends and family members to see. If you want to have a sight of my future trips and the wealth of ones I have done in the past, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. All my gratitude and regards, and look forward to showing you more in future trips.